The day before screening Virus 32, I watched the negligible Netflix thriller They Were Not Mine, Choose or Die. In that review, I editorialized about how bizarre is it Netflix constantly puts out traffic television series, yet their feature films, especially the horror of Wings, are just as consistently unremarkable, if not wholly disposable. Now I know some people make similar complaints about Shudder, although I think many of those mourners are vanished edge lords who consider anything without gratuitous gore and near-naked women being mutilated to be crap. But I will say this about a major difference between these two streamers when it comes to original genre features. Shudder's mid-range movies I'm talking about, the ones that are not points to be breakouts but are still respectable slices of indie entertainment, are infinitely better than the routine genre Netflix churns out just to say, look at how much new explosive content we have shoveled on our surface. Shudder does not always have the big names or eye-catching investments, but the pad around their middle is far healthier than the flabby pot belly growing over Netflix belt. Trust Virus 32 makes an excellent case study for what I mean. It's not trendy, so you are not going to hear it being buzzed about like it's an over popular festival favorite. It's in Spanish with English subtitles, so that narrows its sneaky wing feather. All it wants is a small spot on your list of Thursday night activities. It's not looking to make a bigger impact, and that's more than adequate for cleanly crafted little spin around the block where undead apocalypses reside. Iris anchors the story. She's deadbeat mom of sorts, though that she has a little more to do with self-inflicted emotional pain than totally selfish negligence. She is clearly going through something since she still seems to love her strange husband, yet she is living with a roommate who enables her carefree lifestyle, skincare, shots of rum before work, and middle fingers pointed at security cameras. These things also make Iris a fun mother, at least in her eyes. When she is suddenly saddened with watching her 8-year-old daughter Tata for the night, Iris elects to make the best of an undesirable situation. She brings Tata along for her late shift as an old athletic club security guard and does a bit of bonding by teaching coursework, encouraging occasional irresponsibility, and treating Tata like another fly friend, even though what the girl wants is a reliable mother. Iris have to face this fact when Tata reminds her today would have been her little brother's birthday. In a curious coincidence, Choose or Die and Virus 32 heroines have the exact same strategy, hanging burdensome guilt over their heads, blaming themselves for a child's drowning death. If you have seen how Choose or Die did next to nothing with that thread except touch its lead, watch how much more urgency it has theme throughout Virus 32, confronting parental failures becomes even more urgent when an unknown virus explodes throughout Uruguay, turning everyone who gets infected into a mindless madman determined to quickly destroy the progressively fewer survivors who are still human. They are not zombies. They are afflicted with a contagious illness that immediately inspires furious fit races, furor growling, and brutal violence. The only respite is that for few 30 seconds after each Savaga cat, the infected inexplicably become completely calm as she fights to find Tata in the labyrinthine building after it's invaded by infected. Tata teams up with Lois, who also wants little to do with being a parent, while on his way to the hospital with a pregnant wife in labor, chaos caused Lois to crash. Now he and Iris need each other have to take care of their loved ones while desperately clawing their way to safety. That's summary, right? This is what kicked the Virus 32 up to a significant notch for me. It's a horror movie that's actually about something. It's about confronting loss by accepting accountability and how it can sometimes make trauma to make person proactive instead of reactive when it comes to fighting for a family previously believed to be inconvenient. This is not indigestible creatures running around, drawing dried corn syrup out of their mouths while prop guns fire muzzle flashes. Being authentically meaningful is what makes Virus 32 action intriguing. Stocks on several slow sections, hide and seek stalking, which the film features too much for its second act, isn't all that suspenseful when you're in a mindset of a movie where franchise makes are separating voltage in streaks of slaughter. While 32 continually gets itself back up to speed thanks in part to a steadicam that keeps simple scene energy flowing freely without being distracting or overcompensating. The movie is made from a small cast in a single location, yet the production feels bigger than this. There is a requested amount of substance to the setup and to the character, so the plot does not feel short-changed and the script does not seem skimpy, even though the 89-minute runtime breezes by. Director Gustavo Hernandez also tries a few tricks to hide how compartmentalized certain sets and infected roads are with smog, silhouettes, and other bits of clever staging to heighten atmosphere. I consider Virus 32 to be a solid example of a 3-star film, 3.5 for me personally, and that's really all it needs to be. Getting back to what I was saying about mid-road movies or streaming services, I'd much rather have to be reminded of a movie I saw and then react with, oh, now I remember, yeah, that was pretty good, rather than fully forget a film. And that's the difference between a Virus 32 and what I was briefly blipping on Netflix this weekend. It's a fine in a film that may not blow you away, but it will not blow you your entire evening either. Netflix connects strategies assigned to this lower profile. They could learn quite a bit from the lessons Virus 32 teaches. Shudder's Virus 32 makes an excellent case study for what I mean. It's not trendy, so you are not going to hear it being buzzed about like it's an uber popular festival favorite. It's in Spanish with English subtitles, so that narrows its niche even further. All it wants is a small spot on your list of Thursday night activities. It's not looking to make a bigger impact, and that's more than adequate for a cleanly crafted little spin around the block where undead apocalypse reside. Iris anchors the story. She is a deadbeat mom of sorts, though that she has a little more to do with self-inflicted emotional pain than totally selfish negligence. She is clearly going through something since she still seems to love her estranged husband, yet she is living with a roommate who enables her to take care of her lifestyle, of her pink hair, shots of rum before work, and middle fingers pointed at security cameras. These things also make Iris a fun mother, at least in her eyes. When she is sternly saddled with watching her 8-year-old daughter Tata for the night, Iris elects to make the best of an undesirable situation. She brings Tata along for her late shift as an old athletic club security guard and does a bit of bonding by teaching coursework, encouraging occasional responsibility, and treating Tata like another flighty friend, even though what the girl wants is a reliable mother. Iris has to face this fact when Tata remains her today would have been her little brother's birthday. In a curious coincidence, Jews are dry and Virus 32's heroines have the same exact tragedy, hanging burdensome guilt over their hands, blaming themselves for a child's drowning death. If you have seen how Jews are dry did next to nothing with that, said except torture its lead. Watch how much more urgency it has a theme throughout Virus 32. Confronting parental failures becomes even more urgent when an unknown virus explodes throughout Uruguay, turning everyone who gets infected into a mindless madman determined to viciously destroy the progressively fewer survivors who are still human. They are not zombies, they are afflicted with contagious illness that immediately inspires furious pit races, fear growling, and brutal violence. The only respite is that for 32 seconds after each savage attack, the infected inexplicably becomes completely calm. As she fights to find Tata in the labyrinthine building, after it's invaded by infected, Tata teams up with her, who also wants to do little with being a parent, Lois. While on his way to the hospital with a pregnant wife and labor, chaos caused Lois to crash. Now he and Iris need each other's help to take care of their loved ones, while desperately clawing their way to safety. That summary right there is what kicked Virus 32 up a significant notch for me. It's a horror movie that's actually about something. It's about confronting loss by accepting accountability and how it can sometimes take trauma to make a person proactive instead of reactive when it comes to fighting for a family previously believed to be inconvenient. This is not indigestible creatures running around drowning red corn syrup are out of their mouths, while proponents fired missile flashes. Being authentically meaningful is what makes Wars 32 action is intriguing. Momentum still gets stuck on several slow sections. Hide and seek, stalking with the film features too much of what its second act isn't that all suspenseful when you're in a mindset of movie where frenzied minutiae are separating full Turk in streaks of slaughter. I consider Virus 32 to be a solid example of a 3-star film, 3.5 for me personally, and that's really all it needs to be. Getting back to what I was saying about mid-road movies on streaming services, I would be much happier to be reminding of a movie I saw and direct with. Oh, now I remember, yeah, that was pretty good, rather than fully forget a movie. And that's the difference between Virus 32 and whatever is briefly blipping on Netflix this weekend. It's a fine enough movie that may not blow you away, but it will not blow you up your entire evening either. Netflix content strategies assigned to this lower profile tier could learn quite a bit lessons from Virus 32.